It's a trainer down here.
And with our Division I girls race, also top ranked here, San Clemente. They're ranked number 5. They were second in the South Coast League. They were 8th here a year ago, ranked number 9 in California. So Division I girls all ready to go. One more race remaining. Congratulations to our top 15 boys there in the Division IV boys. Meanwhile, back to Division I girls, Braelyn Combe, the senior, Arkansas bound from Santiago. She was 4th here a year ago. She's going to take this group through that first 3/4 of a mile, a point at 3:07. And Millie Bayles, she was runner-up a year ago from Trabuco Hills. She led them to the team championship. She is in part of that group, that chase group right now. We had Elizabeth Jacqueline of Martin Luther King, Charlotte Hopkins of Arcadia, Nadia Mejia of Wilson. So our leader, the senior out of Santiago, Braelyn Combe, continuing to lead the charge, but taking a very talented group along for the ride here. They're maybe about 5 seconds behind as she's going to be coming through the mile mark momentarily. And Combe coming through at 5:15, but a whole group right there under 5:20, including Hopkins of Arcadia, Bayles of Trabuco Hills, Loza of Hemet, Elizabeth Jacqueline also going under 5:20, Addison Johns of Santiago, and Manhadas, the 9th grader out of Hesperia. She came through at 5:21. Bolenbach of Riverside Poly coming through at 5:23. Drewitz of King at 5:25. Maricosta, number 1 ranked, number 2 in California, they're going to lead the way.
Yes, Rosie! Rosie, you got to progress. Take him up. You're on the front. You're on the front. So, come on, girl, progress. Go for it.
So Braelyn Combe now at the very bottom of the airstrip, making to make that U-turn and work her way back up. But Millie Bayles and Hopkins of Arcadia maintaining contact. You got Jacqueline of Martin Luther King having a great senior season there. And Addison Johns, the 9th grader out of Santiago. Big team points there, right there with Gabriela Loza of Hemet. And Millie Bayles now starting to make a move on the way up. Bayles made this move with her teammate Holly Barker about a year ago, where she finished runner-up. And Trabuco Hills and Santiago, it's been a very familiar battle here in the Division I scene the last 2 seasons, but Bayles now making the move. She'll be heading off to BYU next fall. Meanwhile, right there on your right side, that is Combe. She'll be heading off to Arkansas. And in the background, we got Miss Hopkins of Arcadia. She'll be heading off to the University of Washington in the fall. But here we go, about halfway through. Bayles has now made the move, and Combe looking to answer. And for Combe is your defending California State champion in the 1,600 meters. And Bayles continuing to lead the charge here in this Division I girls race. But let's go back to the mile at the team scores. Maricosta top ranked. They had an 18-point advantage over Santiago. They came through in an 8-second bubble with all 5 of their scorers. Right now, Santiago ahead of Trabuco Hills by 42 points. Then you had Martin Luther King in 4th, Long Beach Wilson in 5th, San Clemente in 6th, and Crescenta Valley holding on to that 7th and last qualifying spot. Again, that's very early on through the 1 mile mark with Maricosta as your team leaders. Maricosta, they have actually never won. They've taken a couple runner-up spots here over their history. They won the D2 title in 2021, but looking at their first D1 title here in 2025. But Bayles continuing to edge just a little further ahead. What was maybe about a 3-meter lead is now worked out to about a 5 or 6 meter lead as she makes that left turn on the back part of the course around the back parking lot. So it's Bayles and Combe, Trabuco Hills and Santiago. And Millie Bayles, the senior out of Trabuco Hills, really a big part of their resurgence as a program here over the last several years, as last year Trabuco Hills set the all-time Woodward Park team time course, and Bayles being a big part of that movement. And she's going to come across the 2 mile at 10:41. 10:41, but Combe not going anywhere. 10:45 with less than a mile to go. And Jacqueline leading this group at 10:57, but Addison Johns, that's Santiago's number 2 that has joined that group, along with Charlotte Hopkins and Gabriella Loza of Hemet. Emma Alba of Beckman going across that 2 mile mark, and Mara Costa, 4, all within 3 seconds of each other. And there's their number 5 coming across. So Mara Costa, less than a mile away from their first D1 championship. Meanwhile, Millie Bayles continues to charge forward and open up a bigger lead here with about a little more than 3/4 of a mile to go. So Bayles came across at 10:41, Combe at 10:45, Addison Johns at 10:57. So Santiago with huge points up front, but Mara Costa countering that with their 5 scores, all within 19 seconds of each other with less than a mile to go. Meanwhile, Trabuco Hills has moved up from 3rd into 2nd. So the Mustangs of Trabuco Hills, your defending champions, sat back a little there on that first mile and now really trying to take over here on the 2nd mile and try to chase down Mara Costa. San Clemente in that 4th spot, and Long Beach Wilson, they're right now in that 5th spot. Wilson trying to make it for the first time since 2002 to make it to the state meet. Wilson in that 5th spot, 15 points ahead of Martin Luther King and Great Oak in 7th.
Santi, go get it, Santi, go!
So the BYU bound senior from Trabuco Hills, she sat back at that first mile, made her move on this same airstrip about 6 minutes ago, and has not looked back. She continues to open up on that lead. Getting ready to go. She goes back the gauntlet there, about to take that left turn and work her way towards the stadium. But team-wise, with less than a mile to go, Mara Costa in control with a 33-point advantage over Trabuco Hills. And Great Oak moving into that last spot at 7th. Great Oak has made it to the California State meet 16 years in a row and trying to make this number 17.
Different kinds, yeah. Let's go, Braelyn! Let's go!
And here we go. We're about 400 meters to go, going up that last hill there. Millie Bayles making that left turn. She can now hear us here in the stadium. This is your Division I girls final. Braelyn Combe going to try to make up this gap here over the last 400 meters. And Bayles and Combe, we reminded you that Combe was your state champion in the 1,600 meters. And Combe with a huge surge She helped lead her squad to the 4x8 state title in track season, but going off to Arkansas the fall. Combe with one more answer to go. Bayles going to counter with 2:50 to go. Braelyn Combe, she was fourth here a year ago, and what was a 15-meter deficit has now become about a 10-meter advantage. This is Braelyn Combe, senior out of Santiago, and a great battle there for third place between Hopkins, Jacqueline, Johns, and Loza. But your senior from Santiago, at 16:07, your CIF champion, Braelyn Combe, Santiago. Millie Bayles, 16:12. And it's Hopkins of Arcadia, Jacqueline of King, Addison Johns of Santiago on the outside, Loza, Emma Alba of Beckman closing strong, Alana Clark leading the charge there from Maricosta. But Big 8 league rivals there. That's Jacqueline of King, Johns of Santiago. Johns with that last move. Two of the top three, Hopkins, Alba, Loza, Clark, Swiguinis of San Clemente, Skylar Watts of Tribuco, Bolenbach of Riverside Poly, Nadia Mejia of Wilson leading the way for the Bruins. Here comes Maricosta's 2 and 3. 4, and here comes their number 5. Maricosta. They had laid down the hammer. They came in ranked number 1 after their Bay League Finals and left no doubt here over these last 3 miles. They will be your Division I CIF team champions. And now Santiago right there in second spot. Santiago and Tribuco going back and forth between those first 2 miles. But your CIF individual champion, 16:07 exactly, from Santiago, Braelyn Combe. Millie Bayles, great move in the middle of the race there. Tribuco Hill, 16:12.5.
All right, guys, we are here at the Southern Section Cross Country Championships. What's up, HG runners? We are here with Braelyn Combe, the number 1 finisher with a thrilling finish. Tell us about that last finish. I mean, you started kicking at the end. That was so fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think I did not feel good like throughout the race. I came out through the first mile and felt okay, but the whole time the pace kind of started to feel a little bit forced through maybe halfway, and then I kind of had given up a little bit. I was just kind of lost hope, but then my coach started shouting your team needs this point, your team needs this, we're losing, you guys need this point. And then people started saying you can catch her on the track, you can catch her on the track. So as soon as I saw the track, I love track, so the track kind of just saved me a lot there. I got there and I knew that okay, I can still kind of position myself to have a chance. So just that last finish was all heart and running for my team and running for God and just my teammates, knowing I think I turned around and saw how hard my teammates were fighting too, and so that just gave me a lot of confidence. And I think just because we didn't take the win today doesn't mean we'll lose hope for state and bigger things like that. We still, I mean, for me at least, and I know they'll feel the same way, we still have all these hopes for future races and things we want to accomplish in the year. So I think this is just a good sign for moving forward. We're getting faster every race when we're running together, so it's exciting.
In the middle of the race, you saw her kind of Millie was kind of making that distance on you, but then she kind of started to come back, right? And then you said I could actually do this.
I started counting how much time it took to get for her to get somewhere, and then for me, I was okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last time was 7. Okay, I'm closing it a little bit. I thought if I could just get close, then I could set myself up well for when we get to the track and then closing it there. So
for this race, would you like to thank anybody for your performance? I mean, this time last year, you guys had that intense kind of back and forth with Tribuco.
Yeah.
But now you took the W. You got it. You finally got the W for your division. You're senior. What does that feel like after all this work?
It's really exciting. I think it's been a long time coming for things like this, and I don't really do too much winning in cross country as opposed to track. So just things like this, like today was really important to me. And I remember last year it was me and Riley versus Holly and Millie. And then today I just know that Millie like shines when it comes to championship races. So yeah, just really exciting. I'm really happy with it.
So congratulations, Miracosta. They had earned the D2 title in 2021. This is their first D1 title. Trabuco Hills back on the podium for another plaque here in second. Santiago taking third.